And that's what we really strive to do in Brunswick. Multiple discoveries.
These
I'm
other
not going to
things,
waste time. I'm
no.
not going to waste time. We're here to be serious exploration company, do serious work across our portfolio, and reward our shareholders and our potential investors with that exploration success.
Yeah.
And that's why we're working so hard at Mirage.
Between Plays, it's the journey and what you do between where you are and where you want to be. Research, prepare, plan, and execute your strategy. Do your DD and stay strong in visualizing and achieving your goals. Our strategy is unique since 2020. An original concept imitated, never duplicated. Real conversations with media influencers, educational and expert speakers, analysts and consultants. Between Plays, bridging the gap between companies and investors.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Plays Stock Market Strategies. Here we are. We have Brunswick Exploration CEO Killian Charles. Killian, how you doing today, man?
Very good. Pleasure to be back.
Yes. We've been waiting a little bit. We've had some time. I mean, you're still working, of course, naturally, because we see that through Elron. And we had some news released the other day. I'm just curious if you can just go over Elron and what does this discovery mean for BRW?
Look, the whole point about BRW was to make discoveries. And, we've demonstrated that with Mirage. We've demonstrated that with analyst. And again, we're demonstrating that with Elron. We strongly believe that there was an opportunity in this market, especially in Canada, to make multiple discoveries. And that's what we really strive to do in Brunswick. And Elron, specifically the Arwen showing, is a fantastic discovery. Here we're seeing a major exposure. We're seeing a spodumene-bearing pegmatite that is, up to 250 exposed over 250 meters of strike, to 100 meters on surface of width, potentially undrilled, shallow dips. So there's a lot more work to be done there. But we're seeing spodumene-rich zone that's 75 by 15 in there. It's just a fantastic discovery, and it speaks to the potential of the rest of our portfolio. It speaks to the potential of our strategy, and it reaffirms that I'm not done doing this type of work. I'm fantastic. We're going to push hard on Mirage, and I'm excited to talk more about that as well. But I'm going to still acquire more land. I'm still going to do more prospecting because I think that there's still more discoveries to be made out there. There's still other juniors that have great portfolios. And I know they'll make great discoveries down the line. This is an exciting time in the lithium space. People forget, mining when it comes to our exploration, when it comes to copper, gold. You count discoveries on an annual basis. Oh, well, this year we made 2 across the entire globe. And here in Canada, we're making them almost on a weekly basis. We're making new discoveries across all of Canada. That's incredible. That's so exciting. This is something that, in a few years' time, we'll look back and say, I lived during the lithium exploration boom. Every week there was a new story. Every week there was a new discovery that Brunswick made. That's something that's incredible. I swear, I promise you, we'll be talking to our, the next generation of mining investors, the next generation of mining executives are like, oh, I wish I lived through that lithium boom. It was incredible.
Sorry, but it's true. It's what you're saying is really true. I think that we're taking a little bit for granted that, I mean, you guys have been working really hard. I mean, there's more than just the Elron project. I mean, like, there's other projects that we've been so excited that we've been hitting and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it is an exciting time to be living through the whole lithium boom, the whole lithium era.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes me so excited to be in Brunswick. That's what makes Brunswick so fun at the end of the day, is that exploration success, we have so many different chances of actually doing it. Like geologists, mining executive, they all dream of making that discovery and making a discovery that is economically significant. Yeah. A company like Brunswick, we just give ourselves so many chances of making that economically significant discovery. Let's think back over the last 6 months. in the last 6 months, we have done, a discovery at Anais. We've drilled Anatakao West, demonstrated that there's up to 30 meters of 1.5% lithium. We've now made this Elron discovery. We've made a major discovery, and more importantly, we made a major discovery at Mirage, which we're now drilling. We have major plans for 2024 around Mirage, and that's in the span of 6 months. And we're not here to waste investors' time, waste investors' money. We've cycled through projects, and the ones that didn't fit, they're gone.
True.
So that we can concentrate our efforts on what we believe is going to generate value for investors. And that's the fun thing about Brunswick, is because I have such a wealth of projects, I don't need to pound the table on something that's not that great ultimately, or try to, spin something out to hopefully get something out of it. It's like, no, it doesn't fit our criteria. It's not good enough for us, not good enough for our investors. Let's focus on what's great out there. Let's focus what works in our portfolio, and let's keep growing that portfolio. Let's keep making new discoveries, because we've got major plans for that in 2024. Major plans to continue driving and making those new discoveries, and making not just one, but maybe 2 or 3 economically significant discoveries. That's what's so special about Brunswick. It's not a one and done type of story.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when you look about what's been done in the last 6 months, I mean, I think it's a very important point that you bring up, especially for the retail investor that's been looking at this, and how, the questions that I've been receiving is very true. That's a very good point, that when you saw that, no, this is not worth it, whatever, I mean, you put it out there. Everybody knew immediately. It's like, no, this is not good. We're getting rid of this, and that you've done, I mean, without hesitation. So I think that that is a very important point, that look, we're keeping these because it's important to keep these. This, there was not, like, gone. It's not worth it. These
I'm
other
not going to
things,
waste time. I'm
no.
not going to waste time. We're here to be a serious exploration company, do serious work across our portfolio, and reward our shareholders and our potential investors with that exploration success.
Yeah.
And that's why we're working so hard at Mirage.
Well,
That's why we have drill rigs turning right now at Mirage, and we see no reason that we are going to stop that work. It's something that we're pushing very, very hard. We've been drilling since early September. We're now looking at plans. We're not stopping anytime soon. Let me be very, very blunt on that front. There might be a period where we have to slow down just because of weather as we transition from the fall into the winter. So that's fine. That's just logistic.
Yeah.
But we're building a camp up there. So that we can continue drilling absolutely year round. We're looking at logistics to increase the amount of rigs we have up there, to lower the cost of drill rigs up there, to just make it more efficient, and to not stop, to continue working as long as we can, because we strongly believe that we've caught a tiger by the tail. This is a fantastic asset. When I look at the size of the anomaly, when I look at the sheer, amount of outcrops, every time we go back out there, my teams come back and say, well, Keelan, we just found a new outcrop. We found a new area that we have to go test. And we kind of alluded on the press release that we released a few days ago.
Yes.
We started giving a little bit more information based on drilling. Again, it's not even been a month of drilling yet. It's been going very, very well. And we're seeing incredibly amazing intercepts even this early in the campaign. We've already hit up to 52 meters of spodumene bearing pegmatite. That's a fantastic drill hole right off the bat, just starting out. Everything's open, and I'm just excited, and I just cannot wait to get these assays out there. Cannot wait to be able to tell the market, no, look, of course I'm biased, but that they'll be like, yeah, you know what, Keelan, you might be biased, but damn it, you're right. It is something incredible that you have at Mirage, and it is something that is significant. And we're on the cusp of that. And yeah, okay, it takes time to do the drilling, move the drill rig, get to the next hole, get the core assay, get the core log, get the core split, get the core assay, get it in the labs, wait for the labs. It's a process. I wish it was faster. That's, the reality of it. If I could snap my fingers and get the results today, I would. I absolutely would. But
I would want that too.
look, we all would. We absolutely all would. But the fun thing with lithium is that we can see it right off the bat, right? We can see the spodumene. It's fantastic just how quickly we know what's happening. It's unlike gold, where you're always a little bit unsure. Is this going to grade a gram? Is this going to grade 2 grams, 3 grams, 4 grams? There's a little bit of a guessing game on that part here. Yeah. We have a little bit more confidence in terms of what we're seeing, the type of intercepts that we're seeing. And this is going to be something really exciting. And, this is an area that is just rich in lithium. The James Bay is a uniquely prospective area. 3 discoveries in Brunswick, just in the James Bay.
Yes.
And we've got lots more to work across the rest of Canada, lots more to work across the rest of Quebec. But just this summer, 3 discoveries in the James Bay. And even within those 3 discoveries, so Mirage, Analyst, Elron, or I should say Arwen, Mirage just stands apart from there. Just stands apart because of the size of the anomaly, the size of the pegmatites we've identified, and just the sheer endowment that we see at surface. So there's going to be a lot of fun things happening around there, especially as we, close out this year. Hey, look, I also wish there wasn't any forest fires. I wish that we had, been here throughout all June and July. That's not what happened. Obviously, we were locked out for almost 2 months. Yep. That's the reality of it. So we're trying to catch up. We're trying to make up for lost time. I wish I had 5 drill rigs on it right today. That's not the case. But we're going to get to there. We're going to get to that point in 2024. I have the utmost confidence, and that's what we're slowly driving towards.
Okay, so that's basically, that was one of the questions too. So 2024, we're looking at, Mirage, continued drilling, where we have this whole plan. And then, of course, naturally, depending, we have to balance out the other things in the, ETF, so to speak. Because, it's, and that's something I think that a lot of people are having a hard time, trying to understand, is because most companies, they have one. And then they, they work on that one. Here we have others that could be very important, to, let's say, another type of company that was out there going, oh, I got this one, this is amazing, but we're like going for, probably a world-class asset, and we have to balance this lithium ETF, so to speak. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, to me, it's even simpler than that. Right?
Okay.
Mirage is our focus right now. It absolutely is.
Okay.
But these other assets we have in the portfolio, until we drill them, we don't know what the real potential is there. And so we do need to do that work. That was always the point about Brunswick Exploration. Here's a unique opportunity where we may not make one discovery, we may make many of them, and hopefully it's not just one world-class discovery. Hopefully we can make more than one. Now I'm getting very greedy. Okay. But still, it's something that's unique, and it's a unique opportunity as an investor of Brunswick that they have in front of them. So don't get me wrong. 90% of my focus next year, I should say, let's say 80% of my focus next year is going to be Mirage. We want investors to focus on that one because it's advanced, it's moving well, it's got an incredible potential, and it will deliver fantastic results. Oh, okay. But I don't want to forget the rest. Yeah. What if I have another diamond in the rough in the rest of my portfolio?
We don't know.
That just requires a drill hole. So 10% of next year is going to go towards drilling these other discoveries we've made, in due course throughout the entire year. We'll get to drilling NAS. We'll get to drilling Arwen. And then the other 10%, it's like, well, we still have this world-class portfolio. Let's go test out the rest in there. Are there more discoveries? Can we make more discoveries in there and add more to it? So I have a lot of confidence that we're still just getting started. We still have much more value propositions to give to shareholders, whether it's just at Mirage itself, or it's, you know, drilling these new discoveries, or it's simply making new discoveries.
That's so true.
Hell, there's not a lot of companies that can say, you know, where we have just this plethora of different, you know, investment ideas, investment opportunities. And it goes a little bit back, touching back on that sort of ETF idea where, you know, how does an ETF work? An ETF works by trying to get a collective of different companies with different stages of assets together as a proxy of playing the space.
Correct.
And that's kind of what we have in Brunswick, right? We have our more advanced Mirage. We then have a portfolio of new discoveries that we're going to be working in 2024. And then we have a portfolio of grassroots, you know, who knows what it is until we get there.
True.
And, you know, there might be another one sitting in there that then gets drilled later in 2024 or even in 2025. Just creating that value chain for investors.
Absolutely.
Just creating that investment opportunity for investors that are, you know, in the stock since 3 years, in the stocks for the last 2 years, in the stock next year, in the stock 2 years from now, just making sure that there's always a value proposition for everyone throughout the entire spectrum.
That is so true. Basically, you know, I don't want to, I know you're very busy, so I have I have maybe one or two more questions. The ASX, because we on Crux, we were talking a little bit about the ASX for a listing. I mean, is that always in the works? Is there a timeline on that?
So it's always in the work. Timeline is, you know, I don't want to say out of my hands. It's just a question of, you know, doing
Regulations, I guess.
Yeah, more boring regulatory process. You know, we hope to provide a formal update before the end of the month that will provide a lot more clarity on that front in terms of, you know, when we can actually go ahead and execute on a number of those things there. So look, it's moving along as always, as it always works in exploration. I wish I could snap my fingers and get it done tomorrow, but that's not the case.
All right.
These
And
things always take time, but we'll get there. You know, I always
Okay.
have the end in sight, and I know where we're going, so we'll get there.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking maybe 3 or 4 questions from the public. Is that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm just going to go and grab the questions because I have so many different questions, but I got to keep it limited. Brunswick has been, you know, a hot topic, a hot social media. You know, a lot of people are talking about it. So I went and got a few questions here. This question comes from Pav, which is his handle is Hot Stocks 101. He's on X, which was formerly Twitter, of course. And the question is like basically, what's the current cash status? What's our forecasted burn rate till the end of the year? And basically, we already spoke about the ASX listing, so that's fine.
So, you know, we have, I think it should be around 11 odd $11 million. Our view is to finish the year, you know, roughly in the $6 to $7 million range. So, you know, things are moving well. You know, obviously it's dependent on drilling.
Yes.
It's depending on work. We're obviously setting ourselves up for 2024, but the company is in a very strong financial position, especially with market turbulence and all of that out there. I'm really happy to be sitting on a decent amount of capital.
That's awesome. Awesome. And we have a question now, which pretty much rolls into that one, which is from Will, which is in the Betweenplays Telegram community. Basically, his question is like, so what would be or what is the financing for 2024?
You know, we've always been somebody that a group that's been opportunistic. If we see a window, we'll go ahead and take advantage of it. It's kind of a little bit hard to know how much we want to raise. You know, if I was a $10, if I were somebody was willing to pay $10 for my shares, then we'll go raise more capital. But it's always a balance between dilution and achieving objectives, right? Whenever I go out there and take $1 from an investor, I need to make sure that I'm going to make this dollar, you know, become something more. So I have to be very, very careful from that perspective. And we've got some strategies. If we see a window, we'll take advantage of it. It could be a number of different ways. It could also be even monetizing part of our portfolio. That could be another way to bring in cash as well in a non-dilutive fashion.
Yeah, that's good.
It's about moving the needle forward. And look, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. A junior mining company that has no cash, that does no work, is not an investment strategy, right? It's a proxy play on the commodity itself that just dilutes itself. No investor should ever own that. All right. And so, but it's the sad truth.
I know, I agree. I mean, that's
yeah. Not how we work in Brunswick. I'm not here to be quiet. I'm not here to be slow. We're here to execute. We're here to drive forward and move the needle for our investors. That's what I'm here to do.
Awesome. So 3 more questions. So question 3 is from Saul. His Twitter handle, or sorry, X handle, and one he problems with Elon if he ever looks at this.
No, yeah, be careful now.
That would be, I wouldn't even know how to handle that. I'd be like, well, wait a minute, he just looked at my show. That's a great thing. No, but anyways, so from his handle is Useby on X, and it's BRW buying assets surrounding Mirage. Is it because you want the most for your buck? Or was it because it wasn't something you that you didn't find on the property, or is because you just want to make sure that you have breathing room? Because so basically, what is the whole purchase for around Mirage?
So if you look at where the discovery is made, you can see that it's quite solidly in the middle of the land package, right? So, the ground we acquired was to give ourselves a bit of breathing room around. Like, the last thing you want to do is make a discovery and then have, a competitor that abuts, 200 or 500 meters away. In this case, it's more like 2 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to give ourselves a very comfortable buffer. We didn't want, other charlatans just sniffing around us there. This gives us a little bit more validity, and it just makes the project more presentable in our view anyway. If we, just take that extra room around there and just have something that's a little bit more consolidated.
That's cool. Yeah, that makes total sense. We have 2 more questions. So question number 4 is from, the handle is Antle Carver on co.ca. What is your assessment of the number of BRW's major prospective deposits? We basically went over that. And if I were trying to gauge BRW's portfolio, basically, how would you put that? How would BRW put that to gauge the portfolio? I guess they're talking about, are we looking at world-class assets here? I'm not too sure.
Look,
general. It's a vague question. It's general.
Yeah, no, and that's fine.
It's a good question.
I appreciate the question. To me, it's the view from every mining company, and every mining CEO is going to say the same thing. Hey, I have a world-class discovery, right? Or I'm looking for a world-class. And Brunswick's no different than that, right? We just give ourselves a lot of chances of making that world-class discovery. And when I think about Brunswick, when I think about my portfolio, it's geared towards making those discoveries. That's what we've demonstrated over the last 6 months, making discovery almost on a monthly basis, right? That's an incredible concept to have. We've mentioned this before. Companies would kill to have one. And here we are saying that, oh, we don't have one, we've got 4, And when I look at the rest of my portfolio, that's why I still want to make more acquisitions, still want to grow, still acquire more claims, because I do think that there's more discoveries to be made. I do think that other companies are going to make more discoveries, and I do think that my portfolio will hopefully generate more discoveries in 2024. Yeah. So, I absolutely hope that Mirage is going to be that world-class discovery. It requires drilling to demonstrate that, which is what we're doing right now. But, it's also about giving ourselves more than just one chance, right? It's about having all these other ones. And once we start drilling them next year, it's about creating that opportunity of not just having one discovery, but have a world-class potential, but maybe 2 or maybe 3, or who knows, depending on what we find. That's what's so special about Brunswick. Absolutely.
And basically, we have the last question, and of course, and then we'll let you go on your day. I know you're really busy. And I really appreciate all the time that you took with us so far. My last question comes from actually 2 people in the Telegram, the Betweenplays Telegram community. It's from Joel and from Nugget Investor. The question is basically, have you completed, any magnetic gravity survey, and what can you tell us from that if you have?
Yeah, so we've pretty much thrown the entire kitchen sink at it.
Okay.
No, but in the sense that these deposits have different response or lack of response, and every environment where these discoveries are made, it's not like you can just, not, let's say in copper, where there's a set tools that you can deploy, or in nickel exploration, set tools that you can deploy time and time again. Here, pegmatites are a little bit unique from that perspective. And we took it from a little bit of a learning approach. We know that the mineralized fluids are going to take structures. Mag helps a lot identifying structures. We've done LiDAR, we've done gravity, all in the last weeks, to be quite honest. So we've barely even had the time to digest that data, right? That's why things are moving so quickly. We started drilling pretty much as a month. Like, think about it this way. We went back in the field in early August.
Yes.
We made the discovery, pretty much right off the bat within 2 weeks. We then proceeded to go do a bunch of surveys, start a drill campaign right away. We're still early October. So things are just moving so quickly from that perspective. So yeah, we've done a lot of data generation from a geophysical perspective, and we're collecting that data, and we're now pulling it all together. And we hope that it's going to generate a lot of new targets to go ahead and drill, potentially around the Boulder Train. There's a lot more work that needs to be done around there. Look, we're going to be here for a while. We're going to be drilling here for a while. We're going to be making discoveries for a while at Mirage. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to require everything. It's going to require basic geological mapping all the way up to modern, gravity surveys. Wow. And everything in between.
Wow. Okay. I see. Well, you know what, Killian, thank you so much for coming on my show, Betweenplays Stock Market Strategies. I really appreciate your honest answers, and taking the time to answer the questions that come from the audience, because I don't think everybody is willing to do that. So thank you so much. And do you have any last words maybe for investors or potential investors, or to the people out there?
Yeah, look, drill results are going to be coming, and I'm really excited to put them out there as quickly as I can. And it's going to be fun. Brunswick is it's a unique story, and that has so many different opportunities out there. And it's just exciting to wake up every day and work at Brunswick, work with the team we've assembled here, work on the projects that we've assembled, the project portfolio we've assembled as well.
All right.
That's all it boils down to.
Well, thank you so much. And so everybody, that's CEO Killian Charles of Brunswick Exploration. Ticker symbol is BRW.V or BRWXF. For anyone that wants to go out there, always remember, research, prepare, plan, execute, do your due diligence. Thank you, Killian, and hope to see you again soon.
Likewise.